Okay, lesson, actually the packet. No. Pre-lesson for section 2.2. Sorry about that. So, this one's going to be short. And I think the homework assignment's going to be relatively easy for you. So it's a little bit of a reprieve from that pound of pre-calc. So enjoy it. The only thing you have to really be concerned with are two terms. Term number one, angle of elevation. That's not a hard one to wrap your brain around. Angle of depression, that one's a little tricky. That's kind of a term related to aviation. You can tell my art skills are off the charts. So just take that all in. My ability to draw is just unbelievable. So anyways, take a look at this drawing. You remember we are doing so, pa, poa still. That will not disappear. But we got to have a hypotenuse, so that means we got to have a right triangle. So you have an airplane up high in the sky. So this right here, is the height of the airplane. This is the distance horizontally that the plane is from the human being, or they can use air balloons or kites or all these different things. The height of a tree, anything. But this is the distance along the ground, the horizontal distance from the person to the airplane, or from the person to the tree, or whatever. So that's what this is. This is the horizontal distance along the ground. And of course, this is a 90-degree angle. You can just assume that because we need that in order to use trig. So these are just sneaky ways to get you guys to use trig with a few new terms here. So where's the angle of elevation? Well, that's kind of the frame of reference from the person on the ground. Now notice I'm going from the person's toe, not the person's eyeball. So it's from the ground. So keep that in mind. And that's just the angle of elevation. That's just right here. So the angle it makes, direct line from the person's toe or the ground or a buoy, in the ocean or something like that, up to the airplane. So there's the angle of elevation. That one's not too difficult. Now the angle of depression, if I said, okay, in this drawing, where's the angle of depression? I know if I was in class, I would say, oh, that'd be right here. And that would be wrong because it's this. So if the airplane continues in this distance like this, the angle of depression would be right here. Now, I don't know if you guys remembered from good old geometry class. I'm going to erase something. I'm going to erase this right here. And in these story problems that you're about to do, you have to assume that the ground and the path that the object is flying are parallel. And if you remember something from geometry, I'm going to go like this all the way through here and just continue. And if these are parallel lines, see, you guys remember all this terminology? Do you remember that this angle right here and this angle right here? I'll give you $1 if you remember what the name is. I'll give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't think anybody remembered it because it was a long time ago. These two angles are called alternate interior angles. And if you remember from geometry class, alternate interior angles are congruent. So, strangely, if I put this back, and they ask you about angle of depression, you can just say, you know what? I'm just going to move it right here. And quite honestly, the angle of depression is the same thing as the angle of elevation. So you can play a little trick so that you can kind of think of this drawing all the time. I hope that makes sense. And that's it for the pre-lesson.